Hello, I hope you are having a beautiful day today. What am I doing? It's very drizzly outside, but I've had a beautiful day because I didn't have to go outside and do anything. So I got to do all my own things, which included reading this chapter before reading it to you. Or this scene. So we are up to Act 3, Scene 2. Another part of the wood. Enter Oberon. Oberon. I wonder if Titania be awaked. Then what it was that next came in her eye, which she must dote on in extremity. Here comes my messenger. Enter Puck. Continue Oberon to Puck. How now, mad spirit? What night rule now about this haunted grove? Puck. My mistress with a monster is in love. Near to her close and consecrated bower, while she was in her dull and sleeping hour, a crew of patches, rude mechanicals, that work for bread upon Athenian stalls, were met together to rehearse a play, intended for great Theseus's nuptial day. The shallowest thickskin of that barren sort, who Pyramus presented in their sport, forsook his scene, and entered in a break, when I did him at his advantage take, an ass's now I fixed on his head. Anon his Thisbe must be answered, and forth my mimic comes, when they him spy, as wild geese that the creeping fowler eye, or russet pated choffs, many in sort, rising and cawing at the gun's report, sever themselves, and madly sweep the sky. So at his sight away his fellows fly. And at our stamp, here one falls, he murder cries, and help from Athens calls. Their sense, thus weak, lost with fears thus strong, made senseless things begin to do them wrong. For briars and thorns at their apparel snatch, some sleeves, some hats, from yielders all things catch. I led them on in this distracted fear, and left sweet Pyramus translated there. When in that moment, so it came to pass, Titania waked, and straightway loved an ass. Oberon. This falls out better than I could devise. But hast thou yet latched the Athenians' eyes with the love juice, as I did bid thee do? Puck. I took him sleeping, that is finished too, and the Athenian woman by his side, that when he waked of force she must be eyed. Enter Hermia and Demetrius. Oberon. Stand close, this is the same Athenian. Puck. This is the woman, but not this the man. Demetrius. Why rebuke you him that loves you so? Lay breath so bitter on your bitter foe. Hermia. Now I but chide, but I should use thee worse, for thou, I fear, hast given me cause to curse. If thou hast slain Lysander in his sleep, being o'er shoes in blood, plunge in the deep and kill me too. The sun was not so true unto the day as he to me. Would he have stolen away from sleeping Hermia? I'll believe as soon this whole earth may be bored, and that the moon may through the centre creep, and so displease her brother's noontide with the Antipodes. It cannot be, but thou hast murdered him. So should a murderer look, so dead, so grim. Demetrius. So should the murdered look, and so should I, pierced through the heart with your stern cruelty. Yet you, the murderer, look as bright, as clear as yonder Venus in her glimmering sphere. Hermia. What's this to my Lysander? Where is he? Ah, good Demetrius, wilt thou give him me? Demetrius. I'd rather give his carcass to my hounds. Hermia. Out, dog! Out, cur! Thou drivest me past the bounds of maiden's patience. Hast thou slain him? Then, henceforth, be never numbered among men. Oh, once tell true, even for my sake. Durst thou have looked upon him, being awake, and hast thou killed him sleeping? Oh, brave touch! Could not a worm, an adder, do so much? An adder did it. For with doubler tongue than thine, thou serpent, never adder stung. Demetrius. You spend your passion on a misprized mood. I am not guilty of Lysander's blood, nor is he dead, for aught that I can tell. Hermia. I pray thee, tell me then that he is well. Demetrius. And if I could, what should I get therefore? Hermia. A privilege never to see me more. And from thy hated presence part I so, see me no more, whether he be dead or no. Hermia exits. Demetrius. There is no following her in this fierce vein. Here therefore for a while I will remain. For sorrow's heaviness doth heavier grow, for debt that bankrupt sleep doth sorrow owe. Which now in some slight measure it will pay it for his tender here. I make some stay. He lies down and sleeps. Oberon. What hast thou done? Thou hast mistaken quite, and laid the love juice on some true love's sight. Oh, thy misprision must perforce ensue, some true love turned, and not a false turned true. Puck. Then fate o'errules, that one man holding troth, a million fail, confounding oath on oath. Oberon. About the wood go swifter than the wind, and Helena of Athens look thou find. All fancy sick she is, and pale of cheer, with sighs of love that costs the fresh blood dear. By some illusion, see thou bring her here. I'll charm his eyes against she do appear. Puck. I go, look how I go, swifter than an arrow from the Tartar's bow. He exits. Oberon. Flower of this purple dye, hit with Cupid's archery. So he squeezes the flower on Demetrius's eyelids. Sink in apple of his eye. When his love he doth espy, let her shine as gloriously as the Venus of the sky. When thou wakest, if she be by, beg of her for remedy. Enter Puck. Puck. Captain of our fairy band, Helena is here at hand, and the youth mistook by me, pleading for a lover's fee. Shall we their fond pageant see? Lord, what fools these mortals be! Oberon, stand aside. The noise they make will cause Demetrius to awake. Puck. Then will two at once woo one. That must needs be sport alone. And those things do best please me that befall preposterously. Enter Helena and Lysander. Lysander. Why should you think that I should woo in scorn? Scorn and derision never come in tears. Look, when I vow, I weep, and vows so born in their nativity all truth appears. How can these things in me seem scorn to you, bearing the badge of faith to prove them true? Helena. You do advance your cunning more and more. When truth kills truth, O devilish holy fray, these vows are Hermia's. Will you give her o'er? Weigh oath with oath, and you will nothing weigh. Your vows to her and me, put in two scales, will even weigh, and both as light as tails. Lysander. I had no judgment when to her I swore. Helena. Nor none in my mind, now you give her o'er. Lysander. Demetrius loves her, and he loves not you. Demetrius, awaking. Oh, Helen, goddess, nymph, perfect divine, to what, my love, shall I compare thine eyne? Crystal is muddy, oh, how ripe in show thy lips, those kissing cherries tempting grow. That pure, congealed, white, high Taurus' snow, fanned with the eastern winds, turns to a crow when thou holdest up thy hand. Oh, let me kiss this princess of pure white, this seal of bliss. Helena. Oh, spite! Oh, hell! I see you are all bent to set against me for your merriment. If you were civil and knew courtesy, you would not do me thus much injury. How can you not hate me, as I know you do, but you must join in souls to mock me too? If you were men, as men you are in show, you would not use a gentle lady so, to vow and swear and superpraise my parts, when I am sure you hate me with your hearts. You both are rivals and love Hermia, and now both rivals to mock Helena. A trim exploit, a manly enterprise, to conjure up tears in a poor maid's eyes with your derision. None of noble sort would so offend a virgin and extort a poor soul's patience, all to make you sport. Lysander. You are unkind, Demetrius, be not so, for you love Hermia. This you know I know, and here, with all goodwill, with all my heart, in Hermia's love, I yield you up my part. And yours of Helena to me bequeath, whom I do love and will do to my death. Helena. Never did mockers waste more idle breath. Demetrius. Lysander. Keep thy Hermia, I will none. If e'er I loved her, all that love is gone. My heart to her, but as a guest-wise sojourned. And now, to Helen it is home returned, there to remain. Lysander. Helena, Helen, it is not so. Demetrius. Disparage not the faith thou dost not know, lest to thy peril thou abide it dear. Ah, look, where thy love comes, yonder is thy dear. Enter Hermia. Hermia. Oh, dark night, that from the eye his function takes, the ear more quick of apprehension makes. Wherein it doth impair the seeing sense, it pays the hearing double recompense. Thou art not by mine eye, Lysander, found. Mine ear, I thank it, brought me to thy sound. But why unkindly didst thou leave me so? Lysander. Why should he stay whom love doth press to go? Hermia. What love could press Lysander from my side? Lysander. Lysander's love, that would not let him bide. Fair Helena, who more engilds the night than all yon fiery O's and eyes of light. Why seekest thou me? Could not this make thee know the hate I bear thee made me leave thee so? Hermia. You speak not as you think, it cannot be. Helena. Lo, she's one of this confederacy. Now I perceive they have conjoined all three to fashion this false sport in spite of me. Injurious Hermia, most ungrateful maid, have you conspired? Have you with these contrived to bait me with this foul derision? Is all the counsel that we two have shared, the sisters' vows, the hours that we have spent, when we have chid the hasty-footed time for parting us, is all forgot? all school days friendships, childhood innocence. We, Hermia, like two artificial gods, have with our needs created both one flower, both on one samba sitting on one cushion, both warbling of one song, both in one key, as if our hands, our sides, voices and minds had been incorporate. So we grew together, like to a double cherry, seeming parted, but yet an union in partition. Two lovely berries moulded on one stem. So with two seeming bodies, but one heart, two of the first, like coats in heraldry, due but to one and crowned with one crest. And will you rent our ancient love asunder to join with men in scorning your poor friend? It is not friendly. 'Tis not maidenly. Our sex, as well as I, may chide you for it, though I alone do feel the injury. Hermia, I am amazed at your passionate words. I scorn you not. It seems that you scorn me. Helena, have you not set Lysander, as in scorn, to follow me and praise my eyes and face, and made your other love, Demetrius, who even but now did spurn me with his foot, to call me goddess, nymph, divine and rare, precious, celestial? Wherefore speaks he this to her he hates? And wherefore doth Lysander deny your love, so rich within his soul, and tender me, forsooth, affection, but by your setting on, by your consent? What, though I do not, though I be not so in grace as you, so hung upon with love, so fortunate, but miserable most, to love unloved, this you should pity rather than despise? Hermia, I understand not what you mean by this. Helena, aye, do, persevere, counterfeit sad looks, make mouths upon me when I turn my back, wink at each other, hold the sweet jest up. This sport well carried shall be chronicled. If you have any pity, grace or manners, you should not make me such an argument. But fare ye well. 'Tis partly my own fault, which death or absence soon shall remedy. Lysander, stay, gentle Helena, hear my excuse, my love, my life, my soul, fair Helena. Helena, oh, excellent. Hermia, sweet, do not scorn her so. Demetrius, if she cannot entreat, I can compel. Lysander, thou canst compel no more than she entreat. Thy threats have no more strength than her prayers. Helen, I love thee, by my life I do. I swear by that which I will lose for thee to prove him false that says I love thee not. Demetrius, I say I love thee more than he can do. Lysander, if thou say so, withdraw and prove it too. Demetrius, quick, come. Hermia, Lysander, where to tends all this? Lysander, away, you Ethiop. Demetrius, no, no, sir. Seem to break loose, take on as you would follow. But yet come not, you are a tame man, go. Lysander to Hermia, hang off, thou cat, thou burr, vile thing, let loose, or I will shake thee from me like a serpent. Hermia, why are you grown so rude? What change is this, sweet love? Lysander, thy love? Out, tawny Tartar, out, loathed medicine, oh, hated potion, hence. Hermia, you do not jest. Helena, yes, sooth, and so do you. Lysander, Demetrius, I will keep my word with thee. Demetrius, I would I had your bond, But I perceive a weak bond holds you. I'll not trust your word. Lysander. Oh, what? Should I hurt her, strike her, kill her dead? Although I hate her, I'll not harm her so. Hermia. What? Can you do me greater harm than hate? Hate me wherefore? Oh, mean, what news, my love? Am I not Hermia? Are you not Lysander? I am as fair now as I was erewhile. Since night you loved me, yet since night you left me. Why, then you left me, oh, the gods forbid, in earnest shall I say? Lysander. Aye, by my life, and never to desire to see you more. Therefore, be out of hope, out of question, doubt. Be certain, nothing truer, 'tis no jest that I do hate thee and love Helena. Hermia. Oh me, you juggler, you canker blossom, you thief of love. What, have you come by night and stolen my love's heart from him? Helena. Fine, faith, have you no modesty, no maiden shame, no touch of bashfulness? What, will you tear impatient answers from my gentle tongue? Fie, you counterfeit, you puppet, you. Hermia. Puppet? Why so? Aye, that way goes the game. Now I perceive that she hath made compare between our statures. She hath urged her height, and with her personage, her tall personage, her height, forsooth, she hath prevailed with him. And are you grown so high in his esteem because I am so dwarfish and so low? How low am I, thou painted maypole? Speak, how low am I? I am not yet so low that my nails cannot reach unto thine eyes. Helena. I pray you, though you mock me, gentlemen, let her not hurt me. I was never cursed. I have no gift at all in shrewishness. I am a right maid for my cowardice. Let her not strike me. You perhaps may think, because she is something lower than myself, that I can match her. Hermia. Lower, hark again. Helena. Good Hermia, do not be so bitter with me. I evermore did love you, Hermia. Did ever keep your counsels, never wronged you. Save that in love unto Demetrius, I told him of your stealth unto this wood. He followed you for love, I followed him. But he hath chid me hence, and threatened me, to strike me, spurn me, nay, to kill me too. And now, so you will let me quiet go. To Athens I will bear my folly back and follow you no further. Let me go. You see how simple and how fond I am. Hermia. Why, get you gone. Who is it that hinders you? Helena. A foolish heart that I leave here behind. Hermia. What, with Lysander? Helena. With Demetrius. Lysander. Be not afraid. She shall not harm thee, Helena. Demetrius. No, sir, she shall not, though you take her part. Helena. Oh, when she's angry, she is keen and shrewd. She was a vixen when we went to school, and though she be but little, she is fierce. Hermia. Little again. Nothing but low and little. Why will you suffer her to flout me thus? Let me come to her. Lysander. Get you gone, you dwarf, you minimus, you hindering of not grass made, you bead, you acorn. Demetrius. You are too officious in her behalf that scorns your services. Let her alone, speak not of Helena. Take not her part, for if thou dost intend never so little show of love to her, thou shalt abide it. Lysander. Now she holds me not. Now follow, if thou darest, to try whose right of thine or mine is most in Helena. Demetrius. Follow? Nay, I'll go with thee, cheek by jowl. Exeunt. Lysander and Hermia. Lysander and Demetrius. Hermia. You, mistress, all this coil is long of you. Nay, go not back. Helena. I will not trust you. I no longer stay in your cursed company. Your hands than mine are quicker for a fray. My legs are longer, though, to run away. Exit Helena. Hermia. I am amazed, and know not what to say. Exit Hermia. Oberon. This is thy negligence. Still thou mistakest, or else committest thy knaveries wilfully. Puck. Believe me, King of Shadows, I mistook. Did not you tell me I should know the man by the Athenian garments he had on? And so far, blameless proves my enterprise, that I have anointed an Athenian's eyes. And so far, am I glad it so did sort, as this their jangling I esteem a sport. Oberon. Thou seest these lovers seek a place to fight. High therefore, Robin, overcast the night, the starry welkin cover thou anon with drooping fog, as black as Acheron, and lead these testy rivals so astray, as one come not within another's way. Like to Lysander, sometime frame thy tongue, then stir Demetrius up with bitter wrong, and sometime rail thou like Demetrius, and from each other look thou lead them thus, till o'er their brows death counterfeiting sleep with leaden legs and batty wings doth creep. Then crush this herb in Lysander's eye, whose liquor hath this virtuous property to take from thence all error with his might, and make his eyeballs roll with wonted sight. When they next wake, all this derision shall seem a dream and fruitless vision. And back to Athens shall the lovers wend, with league whose date till death shall never end. Whiles I in this affair do thee employ, I'll to my queen and beg her Indian boy, and then I will her charmed eye release from monsters' view, and all things shall be peace. Puck. My fairy lord, this must be done with haste, for night's swift dragons cut the clouds full fast, and yonder shines Aurora's harbinger, and at whose approach ghosts, wandering here and there, troop home to churchyards, damned spirits all, that in crossways and floods have burial, already in their wormy beds are gone. For fear lest day should look their shames upon, they wilfully themselves exile from the light, and must for aye consort with black-browed night. Oberon. But we are spirits of another sort. I, with the morning's love, have oft made sport. And, like for a forester, the groves may tread, even till the eastern gate, all fiery red, opening on Neptune, with fair blessed beams, turns into yellow gold his salt green streams. But notwithstanding, haste, make no delay. We may effect this business yet ere day. Oberon exits. Puck. Up and down, I will lead them up and down. I am feared in field and town. Goblin. Lead them up and down. Here comes one. Enter Lysander. Lysander. Where art thou, proud Demetrius? Speak thou now. Puck. As Demetrius, with Demetrius' voice. Here, villain, drawn and ready, where art thou? Lysander. I will be with thee straight. Puck, as Demetrius. Follow me then to plainer ground. Exit Lysander, as following the voice. Enter Demetrius. Demetrius. Lysander, speak again. Thou run away. Thou coward, art thou fled? Speak. In some bush? Where dost thou hide thy head? Puck, as Lysander. Thou coward, art thou bragging to the stars, telling the bushes that thou lookest for wars and wilt not come? Come, recreant, come, thou child, I'll whip thee with a rod. He is defiled that draws a sword on thee. Demetrius. Yea, art thou there? Puck as Lysander. Follow my voice. We'll try no manhood here. Excellent, both of them. Puck and Demetrius. Enter Lysander. Lysander. He goes before me and still dares me on. When I come where he calls, then he is gone. The villain is much lighter heeled than I. I followed fast, but faster did he fly. That fallen am I in dark uneven way, and here will rest thee. Come thou gentle day, for if but once thou show me thy grey light, I'll find Demetrius and revenge his spite. Lysander sleeps. Enter Puck and Demetrius. Puck. Ho ho ho, Puck as Lysander. Ho ho ho, coward, why comest thou not? Demetrius. Abide me if thou darest, for well I watch thou runnest before me, shifting every place, and darest not stand, nor look me in the face. Where art thou now? Puck as Lysander. Come hither, I am here. Demetrius. Nay, then, thou mockest me. Thou shalt buy this dear, if ever I see thy face by daylight, if ever I thy face by daylight see. Now go thy way. Faintness constraineth me to measure out my length on this cold bed. By day's approach, look to be visited. Demetrius lies down and sleeps. Enter Helena. Helena, O weary night, O long and tedious night, abate thy hours, shine comforts from the east, that I may back to Athens by daylight, from these that my poor company detest, and sleep that sometimes shuts up sorrow's eye, steal me away from mine own company. Helena lies down and sleeps. Puck. Yet but 3. Come one more, 2 of both kinds makes up 4. Here she comes, cursed and sad. Cupid is a knavish lad, thus to make poor females mad. Enter Hermia. Hermia. Never so weary, never so in woe, bedabbled with the dew and torn with briars, I can no further crawl, no further go. My legs can keep no pace with my desires. Here will I rest me till the break of day. Heavens, shield Lysander if they mean a fray. She lies down and sleeps. Puck. On the ground, sleep sound. I'll apply to your eye gentle lover remedy. He squeezes the herb on Lysander's eyelids. When thou wakest, thou takest true delight in the sight of thy former lady's eye, and the country proverb known that every man should take his own, in your waking shall be shown. Jack shall have Jill, naught shall go ill, the man shall have his mare again, and all shall be well. Puck exits. And that is the end of a huge scene. A lot of things happening. Hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you next week.